Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pulse here with the PeakBot team. Today, you are joined by myself, Ben, co-founders of PeakBot, and our trusty steed, Thomas. How are we doing today, fellas?
Pretty good.
Doing great. Doing great. I love that you referred to Thomas as a trusty steed.
I think that's what the saying. I mean, it's true. I mean, Thomas is our utility guy. There's nothing that he can't do other than get his picture up on our intro screen here, because we need to find a better headshot for him. But outside of that, happy Friday. I think it's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Excited to get into the show here today. Before we dive into it, a couple things to expect. We are going to be reviewing our trade portfolios. We're going to be talking through some updates for PeakBot as a business. Maybe diving in a little bit more to our strategies. There will be some live trades happening here in just a few minutes. We're going to be doing our hands-free trading, hands up to show. We'll have our screens up and running to show. Thomas was just about to put his hands up. He chose not to. We'll have our.
I am paying attention. I was just listening to Dillon. I'm almost like watching the show.
Fair. So we will have our accounts pulled up here in just a minute. The reason for doing so is because we have a lot of our strategies placing trades today. In just a couple minutes, our trading window is going to open here at 12 noon Eastern. So hopefully we can see some trades go through live. Otherwise, we're going to be taking a look at our watch list, maybe talking through some updates on our watch list. It looks a little bit different since the last time we went live. Some great updates there to make it a bit more user friendly, and we'll go from there. So I'll shut up. I don't know if we want to kick it to anybody's screens specifically here.
I've got mine if we want to share mine. I can talk through the Iron Condor, and then I'm going to need you guys to stall because ChatGPT wasn't working for me to get the trivia question yesterday. So I'm going to have to get it while you guys stall after these trades get placed here. So all right, let me bring up screen here. You guys can see that all right. So we got a lot of, what's that?
No, I said, yes, we can see it.
Okay, fantastic. So we got a lot of SPY. We got a lot of Q in here. These Q positions and SPY positions, these are my Iron Condors that I opened up yesterday. Looking pretty good for these Iron Condors. So again, our Iron Condor strategy is we're selling one DTE Condors and we're putting spreads that straddle the 25 delta. We're creating a $1 spread. So really our max loss is only $1 minus whatever premium we earn. So it's very little margin requirement, cash requirement, buying power requirement, however you want to phrase it, to actually be able to trade this strategy. And in just a moment, you'll see my Iron Condor trade. I'll even keep my hands in this area here so you can see completely hands-free. There it is. So the order just placed. I got into 3 Qs, Iron Condors on the Qs, 3 Iron Condors on the SPY. Both of those filled. I got filled at 47 cents on the Qs. I got filled at 44 cents on the SPY. So now I've got an Iron Condor that is going to be expiring on Monday. So that was actually like pretty much right on time.
I think
within the 12 p.m. minute.
Yeah, I think that's the first time we've had live trades go through, but while hands were in screen here, I think that's our first actual successful live automated hands-free trade being placed. The proof is in the pudding, people. So whether it is, you're at work right now or on lunch or, watching us live here, you can be doing the same thing. For anybody who's newer to this concept, PeakBot takes well-known option selling strategies and we automate them for the everyday retail trader. So that's what you're looking at here. Ben's got some great condors going. What else you got going on here in this account, Ben?
So it looks like if we look at yesterday's condors, the condors that I opened up yesterday, we can see on the Qs already closed out of the call side at 5 cents. And again, our strategy, the way that we're automating the Iron Condor is we want to close out of each leg at 5 cents, and we'll set that order after the market closes, so that way we don't risk any day trades. We are non-day trader friendly here. And it looks like the other side now, the put side, is diminishing in value. So as long as Qs and SPY keep going up today, we should be able to close out of that position and close out both sides at 5 cents and take home a full win here. So that would be great. I do need this. It looks like the put side on the SPY to close sooner rather than later. So yeah, we'll see how these end up, but so far looking pretty good. This SPY is just me testing a 45 DTE condor strategy. So maybe we'll get into that in a couple of weeks, but just testing out a new strategy. And then, of course, we have the new condors that I just opened up. So those are my positions. I'm going to need you guys to stall now while I get the new trivia questions ready.
No worries. We can absolutely do that. What I think might be helpful is let's take a look at our new watch list. What I will do is I will pull up my screen here, and we'll go through exactly what we're looking at. So let me pull this up, and as always, if there are questions, put your questions here in the chat. If you're feeling shy, you can text us at the number below. That's our business line. It rings to our whole team here. And also feel free to schedule time on our calendar. We pride ourselves on being available here. We can give you a live demo of the platform, one-on-one, answer any questions you might have, make sure you're fully comfortable with our strategies in which we're automating and connecting it to your broker. Of course, we have a fantastic partnership here with Tradier. They've been great to work with. I think maybe before we get into it, for the sake of stalling, this would be a missed opportunity if we didn't mention Tradier Pro. So Tradier offers Tradier Pro, which is $10 a month, and what is offered is commissions-free options trading. Okay, I'm putting it up on a banner right now. Commissions-free options trading. It pays for itself. Okay, so with Tradier, otherwise, in fact, let me just pull this down for a second so we can focus. Tradier, without Tradier Pro, just their normal, brokerage account, 35 cents per contract, which, by the way, is better and lower priced than our other brokerage partners. So even without that, Tradier is a great place to be. However, Tradier Pro, $10 a month, commissions-free options trading, which means you're paying zero for every trade that you're entering, every contract that you're opening or closing, $0. Okay, so Ben, if you guys have been paying closer attention to us over the last few weeks, I moved all my money over from Schwab into Tradier. Ben did the same thing. I think Thomas if he has not done that, he's on his way to be doing that. Ben, what you're saving like $150 to $200 a week just in fees alone.
Yeah. I mean, Iron Condors, that's, one Condor is 4 contracts, open and close. You're paying fees on both sides. You're saving a bunch of money.
Absolutely. So
that's 8 times you're paying fees for one Condor.
Yeah, I mean, it pays for itself in one day. If you're trading multiple contracts or spreads, specifically spreads in your account, it really starts to add up here. So what I will do is I'm going to pull up our watch list. We can take a closer look at things, this new layout here. So what we will take a look at is a few things. First off, the color scheme, okay? Pulling inspiration from our old watch list here. We like to show you the risk level of the stock. So you can see anything that's low risk is green. If it's red, okay, if you see random red stocks, it's because they're reporting earnings. In fact, this stock is reporting earnings today, 7/26. What is it? Chevron Corp. So we like to warn you. We like to give you a heads up when stocks are reporting earnings. It's not financial advice. We are not financial advisors or anything like that, but we do like to let you know, hey, careful here. You're going to see higher volatility than usual when the stock is reporting earnings. So just keep that in mind. But let's go down the line here. So we can obviously see the ticker, the name of the company, the current stock price. This list is updating every 5 minutes. And by the way, Thomas or Ben, if there are trades live happening in your accounts that are worth us looking at, happy to go and take a look at that. We also show you the trend of that stock, okay? Our trend is based on the 67-day EMA, all right? So essentially the 3-month EMA, and we confirm that trend over the last 10 days. So we're looking for 6 of the last 10 days and 2 of the last 3 days to confirm that trend in order for it to show up like this on our watch list. We're also showing your expected value. So really this number here, you're looking at the average premium that you can earn over time. All right. So if we're looking at 74 cents a share, we're talking $74, okay, is the expected value of these contracts or spreads over time. POP is our percentage of profit. All right. So that's based strictly off of the delta that's being selected, right? So this one is a, what do we got to put? Yeah, so we got a put credit spread here, just around the 30 delta that we're selling. The ROI is how much premium you're earning taken out of the budget that you're placing here. So if we look at this 18.1%, that's coming from the $181 in premium that's being earned out of the $1,000 that you're taking to place this trade, because it's a $10 spread, which is also the most you can lose on this contract or spread. If we were to fall under both of our strike prices, we would take a max loss here. So this just reported earnings this week, which is why that premium was significantly higher. Again, if you look at the expected value or estimated value, it's at that $74. This is much higher than that, but that's because they reported earnings. So now what we're seeing is our put strike data, okay? So again, we're already telling you that it's a bullish trend, but that's confirmed because it's showing us our put strike data. If it was bearish, we would see call strike data, much like this. So we're looking at Dell now here. Bearish trend, still a low risk, okay? But it's going to show us our call strike prices, also at the 30 and 10 delta or near it. So that's our new watch list. Thomas, do you think I missed anything there worth mentioning?
Did you mention how it was sorted?
No. Why don't you tell them about it?
Yeah. So the watch list is now going to be sorted by your risk level. And then it's going to be sorted by the EV, so your expected value. And then it's going to be sorted again by the trend. So that's the way it's going to be sorted on there. So it's going to be which one's going to have the lowest risk, which one's going to have the highest IV, and then what's going to have the trend there.
And we start the trend with bullish.
Yep.
Yep. Working down into bearish. Okay. So appreciate that, Thomas. That's a great point. You can always download this, okay? And then you can pull it up separately, sort it however you want in your own view, whatever. But you can also sort this list here. One thing I think worth mentioning that I didn't touch on earlier is the buffer. Okay, this is one of the main stats that I like looking at. Your buffer here, the higher the buffer on paper, the more successful that trade could be. Okay, don't quote me on that directly, but the buffer is telling you how far the current stock price is off of the strike price. Okay, so that means our stock price of 188 for Boeing versus the strike price at 182.5. Okay, our sold strike price. So that's the buffer in which we're referring to. You're going to see some are higher or lower than others. I'm trying to find like a really high one right now. Seems like 4.4%. This Dell currently trading at 113.02 compared to the 118 and 124 strikes. Again, that's a bearish trade. So a lot of information there for you. If you have questions on what you're looking at here, or how you should sort it, or how you should go about determining what's a good trade for you and what isn't, we can't give you financial advice, but we can tell you what we would do. And we'll show you our own accounts and what trades we're making anyway. I personally like to use Tradier's technical analysis gauge to confirm everything I'm seeing on the watch list before I actually choose to automate one of these trades. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Thomas, let me ask you a quick question, and then we'll see. Okay, Ben is ready for trader trivia, but I do want to still ask Thomas, when you go about making a trade through PeakBot, and you utilize the watch list as your primary, database, if you will, what are you looking for? Which one of those columns between the trend, the risk, EV, POP, buffer, ROI, what are you targeting?
Yeah. So first, I'm looking at the budget. So I'm saying, okay, what's the size of the spread? Do I want to put, say, like $1,000 this week into Boeing? Is that smart? So, I think no, it's too big. It's already eliminated. If I see something like, I don't know, I'll just use Walmart. I'll say, okay, I'm okay with putting $800 into Walmart, bullish trend. I'm okay with that. It's been recently up, and the premium isn't too bad, right? $28, not bad, conservative. So then that's going to be my first step there. And then it's also going to be looking at, is the EV positive, which in this case it is. So then something like Walmart to me would be relatively attractive. But something like Hershey, where you're kind of putting it up $1,000, it's not really worth it. There's definitely other things out there, and you can diversify yourself a lot more with that $1,000, especially with the way the market's been right now. I mean, the Dow's up like 700 points right now. So, and I mean, the other day it dropped 500. So, kind of being diversified and putting your money out a little bit better is kind of what I've been doing recently.
Excellent.
It's been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been a weird couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Up and down. And, on the bottom of the screen here, we're just sharing a little bit more about this trend spread strategy. It's weekly expiring. Okay, so you're always going to see the expiration date of this contract for the following. Right now, it's going to show you the following Friday. Is that right? Yeah. Boy, it's already August. That's terrible. Yeah, where's the summer gone? So the trend spread strategy, weekly expiring, so 7 DTE, because the primary entry date's today, this Friday, with the expiration of next Friday. Okay, sells weekly credit spreads, trades with the trend. So if it's bullish on here, on this watch list, it's going to enter a put credit spread. If it's bearish, it's going to enter a call credit spread. If neither of those criteria are met, bearish or bullish, that means it's falling into that neutral zone in which we're going to sell an iron condor for the neutral trade. Okay, and it rolls your contracts weekly. All right, so rather than letting it expire today, I have a lot of contracts that are set to expire today on the 26th. Rather than letting those expire, it's going to close my contract today, open up a new one for next week. It's called rolling a contract. Last thing I want to mention, and we can get into trader trivia. We've had a lot of our traders, again, took a beating these last few weeks, myself included. I'm already starting to dig out of that hole, right? But I was down on my 20K account, roughly 19K account. I was down, 1,800. Right? That hurts. That sucks. But I have to keep in mind, I'm earning $700, $800 a week just in premium. So I only need a good couple of weeks to get myself out of that hole, right? So I'm already doing that digging. What I like to do, again, not financial advice, it's these midweek trend reversals that can get us in trouble here, right? And that's what's happened these last 2 weeks. So for me, after letting this happen and seeing this happen to my account and a lot of other accounts, I'm taking a bit more caution to make sure that I'm more balanced. I don't want to have all bull trades. I don't want to be fully on puts. I want to have a good balance of puts and calls in my portfolio. The way I determine how much of a split that I want, this is something I just started doing last week. I'm going to take a look. I'm going to actually use Tradier's technical analysis tool and maybe a couple other bits of research to determine what's the S&P doing, right? Where is the market overall trending? If we're heavy on a bull side, I'm still going to have some calls in my account because nothing's predictable, but I'll probably lean a bit more toward the bullish trades. If it's the opposite, vice versa. If we're right in the middle and we're seeing a relatively neutral flat market, I'm going to go 50-50 with calls and puts in my portfolio. That's my approach. I'm not saying it's the approach, but that's what I'm going to be doing moving forward. I want to take a look at how the S&P is doing and balance my portfolio from there.
Yeah, Dillon, you and I were just talking about this yesterday, and when I looked back at the past 2 weeks, so you mentioned you were down. I'm also down. I'm down about 25 to 30% on my portfolio. Yeah, which sucks. And it's going to be, you said it, there's a recovery process, and it's going to take, I'm estimating for me, it's going to take about 4 weeks of wins, which really isn't that bad. So 4 weeks of wins to get back to where I was. And then of course we'll continue to grow from there. But when I went back to analyze my losses, and that's something that you should always do when trading, when you're trying to become a good trader, figure out what went wrong. How can you improve your strategy, right? When I went back and I looked, and the positions that I lost on were mostly, not all of them, but mostly positions that I took that were against the direction that the overall market was moving. So the S&P, for example, was trending down. I had a lot of bullish positions. And last week, even, there was still a lot of downward pressure in the S&P. I'm sorry, this week even. And Thomas, we took a lot of bullish positions on Monday. And those bullish positions right now, one is working out okay. I got out of my bearish position, but there's still just a lot of pressure moving down. So I'm now in the money on, I think, 2 of the positions I opened on Monday. I only opened 4. Yeah. So it's, for me, like you, Dillon, I'm going to more heavily consider what direction the overall market is moving. So that's an improvement that I'm making to my own strategy. And of course, we're all learning here. We're all learning together. And as if anybody has anything to share about how you guys like to determine direction and what direction you like to trade in, throw it in the comments. Everybody will benefit from it. We're all in this together. We all want to win here. PeakBot was built for retail traders, and the 3 of us here, we're just retail traders. So we want to give ourselves a fighting chance against hedge funds, Wall Street, all those big dogs. And, we help each other out, we'll get there.
One thing I want to show, I had some live trades enter while we were doing all that. So if we look at my Tradier account here, when we last had this up, and you can go back and look, I had 0 orders being built, no working orders. All of these, since the last time I had my screen pulled up, have been filled. So what you're seeing here is all my trend spread stocks that I had expiring today are, a lot of them are already getting filled. I have some that are still remaining, but maybe it's because you can see, like, the price here, we're at a penny. We're just going to let that expire, right? And so you can now see I have a lot of stocks that are now moved into next week for myself, right? So Chewy, I had just entered hands-free a put credit spread, 2 of them, for next week. So it's a $1.50 spread here. You can see I earned 48, 38, $34 in premium here just on that. So you guys got to understand, this is happening live. All right. So what are you waiting for? Come on in. The water's fine. All right.
I thought you were talking to me at first. I was like scared for a second. What do you mean? What am I waiting for?
No. Retail traders. This is the next wave. Start automating your portfolio. Let's look at trader trivia. Let's see what if Ben could stump us this week. By the way, like Thomas, we got to take over and start asking him questions. I don't like him having that hand up.
You guys can't find this slide deck. You won't be able to find it.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
What do you got?
We got it locked down. This is the best GPT could do today, and I didn't feel like keep asking you questions. So this is more of a guessing game here. So question, of course, on screen. What year was the Dow Jones Industrial Average first published? And the answers are kind of tight here. So I don't know if there's even any deductive reasoning that could be done.
I wonder if.
Okay, wait, hold on. So first we have to think that the Black Friday crash, that was in 1913, right? Right?
I do it.
Okay, hold on. I have to think. I'm eliminating 1913. Way too late. 1913 is not an option. So it's between A, B, and C.
Great. Thanks.
So the Black Friday stock market crash was in 1869.
Was it that late?
Resulting from the plummeting gold prices.
All right, my history's way off. Okay. You said 1816. Okay. Now I'm lost. Wasn't there a crash in the 1900s, early 1900s?
I don't know. I wasn't there. So here's my guess. For me, when I was in high school and college, I wasn't much of a test taker.
That was 1929.
When in doubt, I went with B. Okay.
You went B.
When in doubt, I always went B.
I think the guidance is to go C, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I've always heard.
And that's why I didn't. But I'm going B, 1896. Lock it in. Thomas, do you have an answer?
I'm gonna go A. I think earlier. I think the earliest one's gonna be the one that stumps us.
Okay.
All right.
We'll get back to the answer. Hit us with the would you rather.
All right. So again, GPT generated. Would you rather only be allowed to trade with a live in-person audience that verbally criticizes every move you make, or never trade again? So imagine, Thomas, imagine you're sitting in a room. Imagine you're sitting in like a lecture hall and all of the seats are filled and your trading account is just like on the projector. And every time you make a trade, everybody just heckles you.
Yeah.
Could applaud you if you did a good.
No. They only verbally criticize you.
Oh my God. I have my answer.
I'm taking the criticism.
Yeah.
You got to trade.
I'm making money. They're not.
I always do this with the would you rather questions. I'm going to refer to the fact that I'm using PeakBot to automate my trades. It's like, hey, criticize me all you want. I'm sticking to my strategy that is predefined and that I know over time will be a winner. I'm collecting my premium. Look, I can't not trade. We're in this business too long now. Thomas and Ben, they are more rooted in, they had the passion for trading. I had to jump into it, right? I didn't know what I was doing when I got started. I was a repeat loser in the stock market. And if you asked me this question 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I'd probably just say, well, I'll leave trading on the side. I don't care, bench it, I'll never trade again. But knowing what I know now and using tools like PeakBot to automate my portfolio, criticize me all you want. I'm going to keep my emotions out of it, and I'm going to keep rocking. So
block out the haters.
Yeah, sorry I couldn't see there. I was busy blocking out all the haters. Show me 1896.
All right. It's 1901. Should have went C.
Brutal.
Yeah, so the Dow Jones Industrial Average was first published May 26, 1896. So, wait a second.
Wait a second.
Did GPT mess up here? And yes, I will blame GPT.
GPT's hurting from this whole crowd striking.
No, this was human. This was human error. This was me.
So I'm right.
I typed in the wrong answer. Yeah, you were right. B was right.
Oh my God! All right, it's been a long night for Ben.
So it was created by Charles Dow, and you might recognize the name Edward Jones.
Oh wow! I didn't think of it like that. Dow Jones. Okay, Charles and Edward. They go way back.
Charles and Ed.
Charlie and Ed.
He called him Chuck.
Wow. Okay. So 1896. The answer is not C. 1901. Thomas, you were wrong. I just want to be very clear about that. We should start a tally here.
We should.
Yeah.
We should do a tally. We should have prizes.
Yeah, I'm 1 for 3 right now. That I know.
The Hall of Fame. That'll get you in the Hall of Fame in baseball.
Yeah.
We'll have to have like a third party come up with these questions. Maybe we could get one of the producers over at Tradier to come up with some questions and then give them to us.
Yeah, because ChatGPT ain't doing it right now.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is they just come out as like it has to be a pure guess. Yeah,
that's true. We gotta stop doing dates and years. Like let's do something else. But okay, very cool. So that's Trader Trivia. And would you rather? If anybody wants to weigh in on what they would do in that would you rather situation, throw it in the comments. We'll do better next week. We'll do better next week on both of those. We're not going to put it on Ben. We're going to put it on GPT. But next week, if they suck again, we're putting it on Ben. So what else do we got, fellas? What else do we want to cover here? Any live trades we want to look at?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I was going to say we could get into some live trades. I'll share my screen again. I had quite an experience overnight. I don't know that I'm going to take any trades at the moment right now. I think I want to think about what's going on in my portfolio for a little bit after we get off some of our calls this afternoon. But I was assigned quite a bit of shares last night. I was assigned 500 shares of Dell, which I had to sell out of. I was assigned 1,000 shares of Alcoa Corp and 500 shares of Micron. So I was definitely in a margin call earlier today. So I had to sell out of those, kind of ruined my plans for rolling those contracts. And the reason why, I probably saw assignment there is because those contracts were really deep in the money. And depending on the preference of the person trading on the other side, when they're that deep in the money, you might as well just hold the shares because the value of the option is going to be almost directly correlated with the value of the stock. So if you swap out your option for the actual underlying, then you could do other things like protect that with a put, or you can sell covered calls on it, or you could just sell the shares if you wanted to. And in this case, people had sold their shares to me. And I was the buyer at whatever strike price the contracts that I had were at. So yeah, I've had to sell out of all of those, and now I've got to sell out of a couple of I got to sell out of these puts, so that way I've got enough buying power in my account to place some trades here. So I won't be trading just yet. But I don't know, Thomas, if you have any trades that you wanted to make.
Yeah, if you want, we can go over this Baba position expiring today. I'm assuming you're still in it.
Me?
Yeah, you should be.
Let me see. I am still in it, and it is expiring today. Actually, I do want to roll that.
Yeah, we have to roll this. Earnings are August 8th. Let's see what I could do here on a roll.
You want to share screen?
Yeah, let me go ahead.
Also, while you're doing that, I entered 2 more positions, new positions, not rolling. I entered 2 call credit spreads, one on Shopify and one on DraftKings, expiring August 2nd. And also on screen, you can sign up for PeakBot, automated trading platform. Our subscriptions are between $29 and $99 a month. You get access to all 3 of our automated strategies, the wheel, the iron condor, and our trend spread strategy. Trade as many stocks as you would like. 50% off, use code PB50, all caps. Go to peakbot.com. That code's not going to be available forever. Use it now. Get going. See you at the peak. Thomas, what do you got?
I'm just kind of looking how to roll it here. I mean, I could roll it 2 weeks out and try to fish for this 9-cent credit. And hopefully I
love the broker you're using, but we're going to let it slide.
Yeah, I know. I have to get a trade here, but
okay, it's all right. Hey, we can just talk about how much you're paying in fees, and it'll balance itself out.
Yeah, you'll see it here. This 9 will turn to 7 something real quick. I'm thinking I might just do this roll, keep it the same, roll it 2 weeks out, and this is it's a put credit spread right now, right? Or no, it's a call credit spread.
Yeah, you're in a call position.
Yeah, and they're on earnings in a couple weeks. So this week that I'm rolling it into, they'll have earnings.
Okay, so what are your thoughts then?
Gamble on the earnings. I wonder if I can make this a smaller spread. Yeah.
And I'm just respecting our partners at Tradier. I'm pulling your screen down.
That's fine.
Yeah, I've got mine up here. I'm looking at the SPY right now, right? And I'm looking at the daily chart. And we can very clearly see that since 10 days ago, we've been just down, trending down. And if we're looking for any ounce of support here, I think it would probably come near the 530 level. So, Dillon, like we were talking about before, as I'm considering positions to get into this week, I'm probably going to be looking for bearish positions to get into. So if I go to, and I like using this watch list right now. I know that we've got the other one on screen. Interesting enough, NVIDIA actually turned from, oh, sorry, no, it didn't. But there are other stocks at the top of the watch list here that are bearish. So we can see that and I'll refresh here just to get the most up-to-date data, but we can see that the watch list is turning right now, right? Like the watch list for the past couple of weeks have been a lot of bullish positions. Now we're seeing a lot of bearish making their way to the top. So like PPD holdings, bearish.
Zoom in a little bit.
Better.
Way
better. So PDD holdings currently trading around at 131, and then the watch list is saying sell the 135 strike. We've got AMD, which is interesting, in a bearish trend right now. AMD is actually one that I might want to take a look at, and where the current stock price is and where the watch list is saying sell this call strike, it's pretty far. It's at 8.4% buffer. So I'm actually going to head over to my Tradier account and try to take that trade. I switched over to my retirement account so I could actually take a trade here. So we've got AMD. We said we wanted to sell the 152.5 strike. And then buy, the watch list says buy the 160.
Then you're on the wrong date, I think.
What's that?
Are you on the wrong date on the option chain, I think?
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't want to make that mistake. All right, so I lost where I was now. It was 152.5 and then 165. 152.5, 165. That's pretty large spread there.
Big spread.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. I mean, there's still some movement in premiums there, so maybe I'll go up a strike.
I was actually going to say bring it up 4. Right, go back there.
Hold on, this is going to be a $10 wide spread. I could do 2,000 on this, and then collect a $300 premium here
If I
on AMD, and I think that's pretty solid considering where AMD is at.
I think there's a better. Go back to the option chain there for a second.
1 second, I want to bring up the chart. What do you want to see on the chain?
I think there was, if you could make it a smaller spread, I think. Hold on. Let me see. I'll take a look there. Oh, AMD has earnings somewhat soon.
Yeah, actually, our Alyssa just mentioned that.
That in the chat. Yes, 7:30. Then maybe you don't want to take it.
I definitely don't want to take that. Why is that not updated here?
Yeah, everything else is.
Alyssa, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Alyssa.
A great partner of ours.
Looking out. So that's got to get updated. I'll make a note to go manually update that.
Wonder if that's updated on the other version of our watch list. Let's see.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
On your version?
No.
No.
No, it's not. All right. Well, hey.
That explains why the spread was so wide.
Yeah.
I could go for Snowflake. That's the bearish position I profited on this week.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Arlissa entered RBLX. If we want to take a look at that, she entered Roblox.
Okay, Arlissa, did you enter calls or puts? Send it in the chat and then take a look at it. Because the watch list is saying bullish, but I know some people like going against the grain.
Yeah. So also, I had RBLX pulled up on Tradier's tool here. What does it say on the watch list? To put
Credit spread. Yep.
So we're looking at the one. It's bullish. Okay, so we're looking at the 1 month chart here. Yeah, so she did a put credit spread on RBLX. So if we're looking at the one, this is the 1 month chart here. Arlissa, what were your strikes? Curious to know.
Arlissa, why don't you just join us here?
Arlissa, we're going to have you on a call. I don't know why we haven't done that yet. We're going to have you live on the show, considering you saved us, or saved Ben at least.
Yeah.
When we're looking at the 1 week technical analysis for Roblox, we got 11 buy signals, 7 neutral, 6 sell. When we go and look at it for the 1 month, less votes, but 8 buy, 7 neutral, 2 sell, which I guess makes sense when we're looking at this chart. We're kind of in this nice little channel here. It looks like there's a decent support right around that 39.50 and a resistance right around maybe 41.30 or
41.50-ish, yeah.
41.50. What were the strikes on the watch list, fellas? Let's see.
Thomas, I'll let you go find that.
You got it here. Oh, let me refresh.
I'm trying to figure out this trade on Snow real quick.
Why can't I find it here? There we go. The strikes are 37 sold, 32.5 bought.
37, 32.5. Okay. So if we're looking at, how do we feel about that? Where were these? Where was this resistance? 1 month. 37 and 32.5.
Oh, Arliss, it's on earnings this week, actually. It's putting out earnings August 1st.
Did we just
next week?
Did we just counter save Arlissa?
I think so.
If she could get out of that position in time.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to look at the earnings while you guys.
Well, like on the watch list, you mean, why it's not updating?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, to be honest with you guys, it doesn't look like we've got too much action right now. Arlissa says I'll be gone by then. Okay, good. So what I would like to do then is I'm just going to pull up my screen one more time. Of course, like this fluctuates so much, you don't want to get, you don't want to be getting emotional about it. But when we had this up, I'm almost certain my account balance like 20 minutes ago was at 17.7 or 17.8. I'm up a couple $100 with just having closed out of those other positions and entering some new ones. So digging all that, we're going to see how we do this week, but this has been a big recovery for me. This account was down at like 17.5 last week. So up a couple $100, $500, $700 over the last few days here. And again, that's what I'm expecting. I'm earning about that much in premium per week. So we just gotta keep chopping here. And look, you're gonna have bad weeks. Okay. Try not to look at this all the time. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but it's if you're looking at this every day, you're gonna go bonkers. Okay, you're just gonna drive yourself crazy. When we say to our traders that we're trying to earn 0.5% a week at the end of the year, that 26% is a sweet spot. We would love our traders to earn 26%. By the way, we've done a 52-week analysis over the last year from July to July. 83% of traders are profitable. Okay, keep in mind, most of the time outside of our world of automated PeakBot trading, 90% of retail traders fail. Okay, 83% of our traders were successful. Average annual return in that time was 32% when the SPY returned 23. So we beat the market by about 9% in that time, which we're pumped about. Arlissa, the weekend is great for theta decay. I closed around 50% profits. Love that. When we were actually, before the trend spread bot was created, we were 90% of our traders were on the wheel. And that primary entry point for the wheel was on Monday. So Monday to Friday, still great, but didn't have that weekend theta decay that Arlissa is referring to here. And Arlissa, love your approach of closing around 50% profits. Obviously, you're doing that manually right now. However, one of the main new updates that are being built in and tested now live with trend spread is the take profit being locked in day to day. Okay. one of the benefits of credit spreads is being able to not look at the screens all day. Yeah, we're busy. We got lives. We got things to do. Ben or Thomas, do one of you want to speak quickly to the take profits that are going to be built in daily with the trend spread strategy?
Yeah, sure. So
hit them with the numbers.
Yeah, this is going to be an update. No timeline for this update right now. We're in the process of some other updates at PeakBot. But what we do want to push is, like Dillon mentioned, take profits. And we've been experimenting with different numbers. And, where we're kind of at now is if you enter a position on Friday and you want to get out of that position, or the bot will get you out of that position if it achieves a 50% take profit on Monday. Now, if the position does not achieve a 50% take profit on Monday, then you'll still be holding that position. On Tuesday, we shoot for a 60% take profit. So we're rewarding ourselves a little bit more for taking on the additional risk for holding onto that position for a little bit more time. Plus, that's another day of theta decay to add value to the position itself. If 60% doesn't work out on Tuesday, then on Wednesday, we'll take a 70% take profit. If that doesn't work out and you're still holding the position, on Thursday, we'll shoot for 80%. And then on Friday, we will also shoot for 80%. It could be the case that maybe by the time the market opens on Friday, your position is so far out of the money that you just want to let it expire and collect 100% of that premium, just let that spread expire worthless. If you're automating with PeakBot, what the bot will do is just a normal roll on 12 o'clock at 12 o'clock noon Eastern on Fridays, just like it does now. It won't necessarily consider the amount of profit or loss too. Another thing that I've found, at least when manually trading, and I didn't get to do it this week because we were a little too busy, rolling on Wednesdays seems to be a really good day to roll because there's additional premium that you can capture for the week that you're rolling into. There's still some meat on the bone for the contracts this coming Friday. Wednesday seemed like, to me at least, a good day to roll, or seems like a good day to roll. And that's going to be kind of my personal target is if I'm not profitable in a position by Wednesday, I'm going to try to roll that and give myself a more favorable position. And when I say roll, I'm not necessarily going to roll the same strike prices. I might try to adjust my strike prices and get out of my current position and into a new position for a credit. Right. Whenever I'm moving my positions, I'm always going to want to play around and adjust and pull different levers so that way I can move my position for a credit. Because once you start rolling for debits, you're starting to dig yourself that hole and you're starting to realize that loss. So there are different levers that you can pull. Of course, the most obvious lever is push out your expiration date. Right. The further out the expiration, the more value there is to the options contracts. That's lever number one. Lever number two that you can pull is the size of your spread. Now it'll require more capital on your end, but you can increase the size of your spread, and as a result, you'll probably collect more premium. So that's lever number two. Lever number three that you can pull is adjusting where your strike prices are. I don't like to do that, but it is an option where you move your strike prices a little bit further into or out of the money, into the money. Harder for the stock price to recover. But if you're feeling strongly about your overall thesis of where that particular company is going, whether it's bullish or bearish, then that could be an option. And then the final option is add another contract onto your spreads. That your overall position, you'll have to put more money into your overall position, but when you actually run through the transaction, it'll come out at a credit. So that one's not really a true comparison because you're adding more contracts, but you're essentially putting more capital into the position, and then when you get out of that position, you should get out at a net gain at the end of the day. So there's 4 different levers that you can pull. Sometimes we're pulling a combination of those levers. And yeah, Alyssa just said in the comments, you could also turn it into an iron condor. I've done that. I actually did that this past week with what was it? With Enphase. So ticker ENPH. I formed an iron butterfly, and that did was it limited my losses, and I did that because I knew Enphase was reporting earnings this coming week, and the expected move on that was $16. So I just really didn't want to get caught on the wrong side of that and hit a max loss. So I mitigated that loss, and I'm taking about 75% less, so 25% of the original loss that I was supposed to get take like a $1,600 loss on it, and because of the iron butterfly that I formed, I'm only taking about a $400 loss on it. So, again, sucks to take a loss, but risk management, and that capital will be freed up for this coming week, and I'll be able to make some more trades.
I actually just made 2 rolls myself while you were talking there, Ben. I ended up rolling that Mara position that we opened. I had to drop the bought put 50 cents, or I had to increase it by 50 cents. I was able to roll it for a 13-cent credit, which if you want to do that, Ben, right now, 13 cents isn't too bad.
Yeah.
And then also for Baba, I was able to roll it 2 weeks, same size of the spread, collect 6 cents in credit. So not the highest credit, but a credit's a credit. And they're reporting earnings as well. So maybe their earnings can come out bad or something can happen there. And I can end up winning the trade as well. And that was it. And I also opened up a position on IWM. I'm really liking small cap stocks now, especially with the inflation data that came in as expected, looking to cut rates probably in the near future. That benefits small caps the most. So really trying to put those put credit spreads into there. I even bought some IWM and other small caps in my investment portfolio outside of PeakBot and trading portfolio. So really trying to leverage these rate cuts soon.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Good
Best
stuff.
of luck. Best of luck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're coming up on time here. I guess a couple housekeeping things. Again, use code PB50, 50% off your PeakBot automated subscription. Just go to peakbot.com and get signed up. We didn't talk about this a lot today, but we do offer an alerts service. Okay, so if you are not integrated, or rather you do not have a brokerage account with Tradier or our other partners, Schwab and Tasty Trade, and you want to follow our trading strategies, our option selling strategies, you can do so by receiving daily alerts from PeakBot. Okay, we'll send you emails as well as a text message daily with a link to our updated watch list that gets updated every 5 minutes with the top trade ideas for each strategy. Okay, so if you're interested in doing that, you can either text us in for alerts, or it's actually live now. So you can go to, I will put it up on screen, alerts.usepeakbot.com. So you can hit that here. Let me just save that and put it on screen. So go to alerts.usepeakbot.com and you will get signed up. It's $5 a week. Okay, $5 a week. You're in. You will receive daily trade alerts from PeakBot strategies. And if that ain't good enough for you, or you're going to try it for a couple of weeks, you're going to realize at some point it's worth automating it because you're going to be busy on a Monday or a Friday or whatever, and you'd rather just let the bot handle it for you. But go ahead, check it out. $5 a week, alerts.usepeakbot.com. Really quick, Alyssa wants to know, what was the snow trade? Did you take that, Ben?
I did, yeah. I can check that out real quick. Give me 1 second.
She also said rotation into IWM. The Iron Condor is rough, but PCS should be good. Put credit spread. What did you do? Did you do a put credit?
I only did put credit spreads on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice little support and resistance at 217, so I sold a put there.
Gotcha.
Well, resistance then support.
Okay.
I've got my snow trade up real quick. It's just the proof of trade here. So I entered a position. It looks like what was this? I entered on the 22nd, and I collected about, it looks like $120 premium.
Yeah.
It looks like it was $1 spread, so I needed about $1,000, so a little over 10% on that. And then I closed it out on the 24th, and it was a debit of like $40, it looks like. So I collected about $80 on that, so an 8% win on snow. And I wish I took a larger position on that, because I think it was one of two positions that actually won for me this week. But yeah, so this was bearish. Of course, it was a call spread. So yeah, that was the trade that we took there.
I think I'm actually going to take a call credit spread on snow right now. The premiums are pretty high right now. I think I'm going to sell 140 and buy 142, collect $23 in premium on only a $2 spread. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Taking a look at the chart here, over the last year, we've seen a pretty significant decline. But looking at the 1 month chart, yeah,
it's just all been down. RSI is pretty much in the middle. It's been,
look at that.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to share my screen really quickly here. I just have the quick chart up. It's been channeling down pretty nicely and just kind of bouncing off of here. 140, just surprised that it's paying this high of a premium. The expected move on the week is $8. So, collecting like 26 cents or whatever it was on an expected move of 8. That's now an expected, if it were to go up to 140, that's $10 change. Collect $20 on that. I'll take that any day of the week.
You guys got me thinking about entering this trade. Yeah, I might do that. Excellent. Well, Arlissa did, she thought we were entering today. She did 135, 136. Okay. First of all, Arlissa, thank you for being with us in the chat here this whole time. We will have you on one of these live shows. You've been a fantastic partner of ours. Just to give her a quick shout out, educator to trader. She's one of, if not the best, option selling educator on the internet. She's been fantastic, and we work really well together. So we have a great demo video together up on YouTube on her channel and ours, to check that out. I think that's it, gentlemen. Let's let people get back to their trading day and their lunch and whatever they're doing, their job, hopefully. And we will be back live here on the Tradier Hub Monday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, as always, for another episode of The Pulse. Ben and Thomas will be likely live Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, doing some more live trading. Mm-hmm. And yeah, then we'll go live on Tuesday. We're always live. Okay, if we're live 4 times a week, check us out. We should get I know we have a nice schedule. We might need to update it. We'll post it on our socials and bring it up the screen on here. But appreciate everybody tuning in. Thank you so much. And as always, we'll see you at the peak.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.